Nature is a gentle mother who nurtures life, but on the other hand, a wrath that no one can resist. Today, we will witness the destructive power of nature through the most terrifying moments recorded by cameras around the world. In 2022, a hurricane hit southwest Florida, causing catastrophic flooding that submerged the entire city. Through the eyes of witnesses, the water rose in the blink of an eye, swallowing everything in its path. A sudden flood swept through a village in southern Italy, sweeping even giant shipping containers like leaves. A man trapped in the floodwaters could only scream for help. But the floodwaters brought destruction and dragged along countless strange things, from garbage, trees, vehicles, and even things no one could have expected. Nothing can compare to the sheer power of water. When nature wants to drown something, nothing can stop it.
Taiwan, bringing terrifying floods and heavy rainfall.
This terrible landslide clearly demonstrated the brutal power of nature. Tons of huge rocks and soil fell at an uncontrollable speed, sweeping away everything in its path. A local resident in Nepal shared that he had never witnessed such a terrifying scene in his entire life. Have you ever witnessed a tornado forming right before your eyes? In China, a tropical storm brought a giant vortex that swept away everything in its path. During a storm in Saudi Arabia, fierce winds blew off the display windows of a high-end restaurant, turning everything into a sea of debris. And if you think wind can't do anything to giant objects, just look at this scene of a hurricane toppling giant oil tankers in seconds. In a U.S. port, a 230,000-ton ship was easily pushed by the wind. If anyone thought a boat this size would be as immovable as a building, the storm proved otherwise.
Kissing it. Oh, connection, baby.
Sometimes nature is both gentle and fierce, creating amazing contrasting scenes. Earthquakes, silent destroyers, but can turn buildings and swimming pools into rubble in just a few seconds. The strongest earthquakes in history can last from a few seconds to a few minutes, but the consequences are forever. Japan, February 13th, 2021. A 5.0 magnitude earthquake shook the entire city. The camera captured the cat's reaction. They felt the terrifying shaking before humans realized what was happening. In the Philippines, a massive volcanic eruption occurred when lava came into contact with a nearby lake, causing an explosion like something from a science fiction movie. Indonesia's Mount Jonah, one of the world's most active volcanoes since 1933, has erupted again. It was both terrifying and majestic. Landslide in China caused an entire mountainside to collapse, sending a huge cloud of dust into the sky. Luckily, no vehicles were nearby at the time. A massive landslide on a mountain road sent hundreds of meters of rock and soil tumbling down in Argentina. Luckily, people had predicted it and were able to evacuate in time. A spectacular landslide was caught on camera in Washington State, USA. A giant boulder plunged down at terrifying speed, crashing straight into the glacier and ultimately transforming the landscape. In England, a giant avalanche descended on a small town. The massive snow masses slowly swallowed everything in their path, creating a huge white wave. The mud flow was slow but powerful, sweeping away trees and boulders. Luckily, the house next door remained intact. The incident occurred in the mountainous region of northern Thailand. This is amazing. Oh my God. Giant waves are crashing into the shore after a section of a nearby glacier suddenly collapsed. Uh-oh, this is unbelievable. This happened on the western coast of Greenland. A giant boulder fell, luckily not affecting a nearby village in Scotland. A sudden hailstorm hit England, catching drivers off guard. The iron-hard stones shattered car windows and dented the entire body of the car. But fortunately, no one was injured. In Germany, a terrible hailstorm destroyed houses, cars, windows, and even collapsed ceilings. In Verona, Italy, giant hailstones the size of billiard balls fell at night, causing panic.
hailstone is extremely dangerous.
with
The
large
vehicle has
falling
sustained
stones
significant
causing
damage.
severe vehicle damage and chaos on the streets. In Texas, USA, the ice phenomenon on the Spring River has created a beautiful and dangerous scene when the thick ice layer cracks, forming giant blocks of ice floating freely. If given a choice, I would never live on the riverbank because it's not always good. A giant wave crashed into the coast, overturning boats and sweeping away a series of objects as if by an invisible hand of nature.
Việc tham gia giao thông trên mặt đường đầy tuyết sẽ trở nên thật khó khăn và có thể xảy ra tai nạn bất cứ lúc nào.
Driving on snow-covered roads in Russia is extremely dangerous. Accidents can happen anytime.
The water transformed this house into a boat and carried it away on its powerful currents.
We can build cities and solid structures, but before the power of nature, humans are still extremely small. Always be vigilant and respect nature, because
Dangerous
nature
typhoon
can take back
Carvon is
everything
wreaking
we
havoc
once
on the
had
island.
with just a moment of carelessness. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to update the latest videos about the most mysterious and terrifying natural phenomena